Treyarch is cooking. With the first weekend of the Black Ops 6 beta wrapping up, it's safe to say that the game is in a very solid state. This is probably the biggest update to a Call of Duty game that we've gotten since Modern Warfare in 2019. This comes in the form of Omni Movement. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is, it basically just allows you to sprint or dive or slide in any direction, even if you're not looking at it. Which definitely took some time to get used to, just because no Call of Duty, even the games that had advanced movement, have never felt like this before. Which is a good thing, because if we're on the 20th some COD, there should be some new evolution of the gameplay styles. And this meshes perfectly with Treyarch's design philosophy. It's definitely one of the fastest Call of Duties to date, which obviously if you're not a fan of that playstyle, you're probably not going to have very much fun here. Whereas on the opposite end, if you do like your CODs being a little bit more fast-paced, a little more arcadey, you're probably going to love this game. Now, don't get it twisted. If you don't like the yearly Call of Duty cycle, don't expect this game to be any different. Don't expect this game to suddenly be the Call of Duty to pull you in. However, if you do still have a soft spot for Call of Duty, and you feel like Treyarch's presence has been lacking in the last couple CODs, this is definitely their grand return, which can definitely be felt while playing the game, because this is the first time that they're using the new Modern Warfare engine, and as soon as you load into a match, the difference can be felt immediately from Cold War. Because don't get me wrong, I loved Cold War, however, there's no denying that that game was absolutely running on the Black Ops 4 engine. And now, the engine truly, at the end of the day, doesn't have the impact. It's what the developers use the engine to do that truly makes a difference. But even from what we've just seen and played so far, it's clear that they've had a lot more time and resources to make this game feel a lot more polished and just more detailed than Cold War, which for me feels like an absolute dream come true, because I always tend to prefer the Treyarch games, but there's no denying that the Modern Warfare games just have another level of detail to them. So seeing those two finally merge, it feels like we're going to get a near perfect Call of Duty game. Something to keep in mind while watching this footage is that this is running on my 2060, and most of the settings are set to normal, with most of the lighting and shadow settings just straight up turned off. The game still looks pretty good despite all that, and it's running around 100 frames. For sure it'll be a fine experience this year, however we are starting to get to the point where even just Call of Duty is going to take a beefy computer to play. Surprisingly, on the Xbox Series X, the game looks and runs wonderfully. I just think it's funny that we're at a point where my console's playing games that look better than on my computer. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, it seems like Black Ops 6 is just Black Ops Cold War on the Modern Warfare engine. The reaction you have to that sentiment should be pretty indicative of how you'll feel about this game. In addition, there's also going to be a lot of quality of life changes being brought back. The Prestige system is finally returning after 6 long years. There's going to be tons of options to fully customize the HUD, which will probably be a much bigger deal for zombies, which so far we've only talked about multiplayer. We'll talk about zombies soon enough. We've got another year of 150 HP, which means no more getting lasered, and actually being able to react whenever someone starts shooting at you. In theory, because there was one gun throughout the whole beta that completely shattered this entire notion. And unfortunately, it's the gun you're seeing me use in this footage. The Jackal PDW. To my understanding, Treyarch has already addressed this, and this should be fixed by the time that the second weekend of the beta comes back. They also should be raising the level cap, so hopefully we'll have some new stuff to play around with. I hit the max rank in the beta, and I tried to level up the weapons as much as I could, but dear god, it takes so long to do weapon leveling in this game. It's a thing that can be tweaked with time, and it really puts my mind at ease that so far my biggest issues with the game are the fact that one SMG, which historically there's always one OP SMG in every Black Ops beta, was a little too overpowered this go around, and that it takes too long to level up weapons and unlock attachments. That is a very good state to be in when the game launches in a little over a month. I don't know what they were doing the last 4 years, but it's clear that they were cooking. I don't think this can be seen any better than the new zombie maps. The first map, Terminus, looks incredible. They seemingly addressed almost everyone's complaints about Cold War zombies. It's more atmospheric. There's a set crew. They got rid of menus for Pack-a-Punch. The one thing they really do need to do something about before launch is make a more zombified HUD, and I'm hesitant to even complain about this because, as I mentioned earlier, there's a ton of options to customize the HUD, so hopefully there's either something that they're not telling us, or they just see the backlash and just quickly throw something together within the next month. Unironically, I do think if they zombified the HUD just a little bit, almost everybody's criticisms of the second map that they revealed, Liberty Falls, would disappear entirely. Because unlike Terminus, which takes place on an island in the middle of the night, Liberty Falls is set in a small suburban town in the middle of the day. Which, personally, I kind of vibe with, just because we've never really had this aesthetic in a traditional classic Treyarch Zombies map before. But a lot of people are crying about it, saying that it doesn't look like zombies. Which, to be honest, I don't think is the best argument, just because when we loaded up Black Ops 3 for the first time and we saw all the Apothicon and Cthulhu type stuff, that was as far from zombies as you could possibly get back then. But now all of these people upset at what Black Ops 6 zombies looks like are referencing Black Ops 3 as what classic traditional zombies is, and it's just kind of funny. But despite that all, I'm incredibly excited about this game. The upcoming weekend of the beta is going to be completely open and free, so if you have any remote interest, I'd say check it out. Multiplayer is slaps so far, zombies looks like the best it's been since Black Ops 3. It's Treyarch, I'm sure the campaign will be good, and overall, it seems like we're in for a banging year of COD. But I just wanted to thank you so much for watching to this point of the video. I hope you have a great day, and take care.